Hi there, and welcome to Apple World. Quincy Jones passed on November 3rd, and Chow the Murmur fired up rapidly. The web's humming with claims about his assumed role in the background exercises for certain individuals, saying Quincy was the unique ditty known for facilitating these clandestine ceremonial industry parties. The word on the road is that Quincy's social affairs were scandalous for including exceptionally youthful male performers purportedly forced into compromising circumstances with more established industry power players. However, that is not all, since gossip likewise has it that Quincy likewise had an unexpected surprise, something happening with Tupac. Back in the day, Reggie Jr. appeared to have all the tea on Quincy, and it is all as terrible as you can imagine, so we should talk about it for the people who don't know. Quincy Jones was generally firmly connected with Michael Jackson, and they made many tunes together anyway. Supposedly, Quincy wasn't simply in MJ's corner artistically. He was purportedly enveloped with a vile plot to approach Michael in that profession, annihilating embarrassment. The murmurs say the very individuals who schemed against MJ were similar ones who supplicated on him during Quincy. These notorious industry parties, Quincy, no question, made a difference in shaping Michael's sound and vocation. However, their association broadly finished later. Terrible dropped in 1987. The Authority story was they divided over inventive contrasts in any case. Presently, we're hearing there could have been a lot hazier justification behind the aftermath. Purportedly, Michael cut ties later, finding Quincy and other strong men in his circle were associated with upsetting exercises with youthful, hopeful specialists. The Talk Factory is saying Quincy's strong companions attempted to monitor Michael through extortion, utilizing close film to keep a grasp on him, and most significantly on his music index. However, Michael wasn't having it. Rather than playing along, he pulled one of the boldest moves in the business, getting a big part of Sony's index and base it. Cali liberating himself from their impact, that is purportedly when things took a extremely dull turn. Supposedly certain industry hups couldn't deal with losing their hang on him and plotted to demolish his standing. They're said to have gone to the extent that outlining Michael for horrendous wrongdoings in any event, establishing upsetting things in his home to portray him for the public, the objective to annihilate his heritage. Hopeless. What's, as a matter of fact, dubious is that right after Michael passed in 2009, Quincy let it all out and blamed MJ for taking tunes and even asserted Michael lied about his skin condition. Then in a 2018 meeting with Vulture, when requested to share something individuals didn't comprehend about MJ, Quincy took it much further. As opposed to talking mercifully, he made some out-and-out insolent remarks, calling Michael avaricious and saying he routinely took music thinking about their unbelievable work. The fact that Quincy had no makes together it wild issue tossing conceal like that. He said, "I prefer not to get into this freely." However, Michael took a great deal of stuff. He stole a parcel of tunes, Territory of Autonomy, and Billie Jean. The notes don't lie, man, he was really Mavian. He, moreover, asserted that MJ had lied about having vitiligo, saying, "I used to kill him about the plastic medical procedure, man." He'd constantly legitimize it and say it was a result of some sickness. He'd be yes and present. Like, if this wasn't sufficient, there's even show here, since supposedly Quincy didn't simply drag MJ after his passing yet. Could have been a piece of a plot to outline him while he was alive. Supposedly, Quincy and a team of industry elites attempted to control Michael, taking advantage of him at those spectacular Hollywood ceremonial gatherings. However, it doesn't stop with MJ. Turns out Michael could not have been the main music legend Quincy purportedly attempted to bring down. Back in the day, Tupac Shakur made it clear he turned down and proposed to sign with Quincy's name after Quincy purportedly made an unseemly recommendation as part of the arrangement. Now, this large number of stories have individuals asking, was Quincy the unique ditty? What precisely went down at those scathing gatherings he facilitated? And what did Tupac truly say regarding Quincy attempting to take action on him? Was he okay with just being himself? I don't know. On occasion, I thought not. I don't think he would have gone through the careful things he went through. Well, something was off base in light of the fact that, some way or another, I think with exactly the thing was occurring to his face, and I used to give him a hard time about the compound strips and all the other things, and he generally would tell me things that, like, I have a rankle on my lungs, and that multitude of sorts of things. Furthermore, I swear, I have this sickness, etc. Getting synthetic strips, furthermore, everything, and I don't, as it were. It was in deny. It was willfully ignorant for years. Bits of hearsay have twirled that Quincy Jones was one of Hollywood's unique watchmen, especially when it came to youthful male performers. And no, this isn't about anybody's sexuality. It's about the hazier, really upsetting side of power in the business on the off chance that you've been following the most recent Diddy show. You've likely seen all the discussion about DL bits of gossip. However, truly that is only an interruption. The genuine spotlight ought to be on the serious allegations about Diddy supposedly asking on youthful defenseless craftsmen, then giving them to his industry amigos, like a party of some kind favor. So where does Quincy fit into this? As per a few insiders, Quincy could have been engaged with comparable exercises, supposedly facilitating elite parties for high-positioning industry figures, where youthful male craftsmen were compelled to perform for op leaders. One name that continues to come up in these stories is Will Smith. Will was acquainted with Quincy at one of these scathing gatherings when he was around 19 or, on the other hand, 20, and that gathering turned out to be a significant second in his profession. At that time, Will was in a serious monetary crunch, owing almost $3 million to the IRS. Things took an emotional turn for Will when he wound up at one of Quincy's elite industry parties. It was there that Will encountered Benny Medina, who was the one to try out the thought for the new ruler of Bel-Air to him. Quincy was in a split second charmed by the thought and saw a once-in-a-lifetime chance. He was so energized that he asked Will to try out in that general area at the party. Will, being sharp-witted, ad-libbed and try out on the spot. Quincy was so dazzled that he had his legitimate group draw up an agreement promptly to get the hotshot. I end up at Quincy's, and they're entertainers and craftsmen. What's more, famous people and lawmakers like everyone's at Quincy's home. It's like the Marvel without the outfits since he takes a gander at Brandon Tarov, the head of NBC. Did you like it? And Brandon said, better believe it. Definitely. I like the cue, he said. No. Did you like it? And he resembles, definitely. I enjoyed it. He resembled great. You're his legal counselor. Draw me up something right now, damn. Quincy bossing others legal advisors around here's where things get truly problematic throughout the long term. There's been a great deal of theory about what really went down during that notorious tryout at Quincy's party. A few sources have recommended that Quincy could have inquired for something other than a presentation from Will, and it's not simply fans on the web tossing out these bits of hearsay. Industry insiders like Teacher Griff from Public Adversary have even upheld these claims. Griff didn't stop there. He went to whatever extent to purportedly say that Quincy had individuals wiped out to keep them from spilling his insider facts. When Tupac came to Hollywood, it was the gay custom. This is where the gay people openly opposed me. However, I wouldn't fret. I wasn't discussing gay people. I'm saying there's a gay custom that they go through in the Illuminati secret social orders. And it is understood where Tupac said, he was asked by Quincy Jones to him in the when Tupac said no. That is when Tupac was ridiculed for death on the grounds that Tupac was locked into Quincy Jones' girl. Quincy Jones' little girl was dearest companion, was Aliyah was drawn into Lady Run now. If you all follow these individuals back yet, Teacher Griff didn't leave it at that. He additionally asserted that Quincy laid out an organization in Hollywood where youthful male performers were purportedly forced into compromising experiences with strong industry insiders. Griff proposed that Will Smith might have been one of them. Taking note of that, not long after connecting up with Quincy, Will handled his most memorable significant film job in 6 levels of division. It depicting a gay cheat is a strong allegation, particularly given how critical that job was in sending off Will's acting profession. That raised some eyebrows with individuals is the point at which I dropped the data about Quincy Jones. All allow the chips to fall any place they fall. That is correct. This buddy was one of the ones dependable. He had a magazine funded by Warner siblings and captured him. He set up 6 rings in Hollywood and individuals that he got. If you all tell me from lying, Quincy Jones brought in New Sovereign. He did, and his first 6 to partition Sovereign film. Let if yet assuming you felt that was extraordinary. Hang on, in light of the fact that what Quincy Jones supposedly endeavored with Tupac Shakur. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.